Erik ten Hag plans to integrate Rasmus Hojlund and Mount carefully after the injured Manchester United duo returned to training ahead of the trip to Crystal Palace. The Red Devils have bounced back from demoralising defeats to Brighton and Liverpool before the international break with a 3-0 win at Southampton and 7-0 victory against Barnsley in the Carabao Cup. United's attention now turns to Saturday's Premier League trip to Selhurst Park, where Hojlund and Mount could return from lay-offs. Hojlund has been out with a hamstring injury sustained in July's preseason friendly against Arsenal in Los Angeles, while Mount has missed the last 3 matches with a muscle complaint. "It's very good news they are back on the pitch," Ten Hag said. "They are back in team training. We have to decide whether they are fit enough to start, but it is very pleasing they are fit and back in the squad. We have so many games in this block to cover, so very happy. We have to make the final call. They did a couple of training sessions. We have to see how they recover, and then tomorrow we will make a final call." Hojlund and Mount had their first seasons impacted by absences after arriving from Atlanta and Chelsea respectively last summer. The latter missed 30 matches in all during 2023-24, with Hojlund absent for several periods as well. Asked about the need to be careful with the likes of Hojlund and Mount, Ten Hag said, "Careful and top football, you always go to boundaries. It's not avoidable, but when you have a full squad available then it's easier to manage the load. When you are in circumstances like last season and there is a need to play, then also you have to overload them. We hope we can integrate them in a very careful way." United were beset by injuries in Ten Hag's second season in charge, and they returned to Selhurst Park for the first time since May's 4-0 humbling. Ten Hag called it the worst defeat of a sorry league season, but the Dutchman is confident of a far better performance at Palace on Saturday evening. "Not in particular. Are there lessons from that experience?" Ten Hag said. "We know what will come to us. We know it's always tough, it is always aggressive there, but we know also the circumstances, and you can't compare this. We didn't have a fit squad. We had even 1-2 players that were maybe up to 20% to play, but we had to play them. This time is totally different. We have now a fit squad. We have definitely 18 players who are capable to go into this good challenge for us." Pushed on whether it is the kind of experience he keeps at the back of his mind to ensure it never happens to him again, he said, "No, definitely not. It was clear, it was a 4-0 totally deserved, but Saturday will be different." Manchester United are ready to abandon plans to keep Old Trafford if they build a new £2 billion super stadium next door. It means United's 114-year-old home will be bulldozed to the ground if they decide against redeveloping it and instead go with their preferred option of creating a 100,000-seater Wembley of the North. United revealed their plans in the summer to scale down Old Trafford to a capacity of around 30,000 to preserve the history of the club and provide a venue for the women's and academy teams, but sources have told Mail Sport that they now realize it's unlikely to work, and what is effectively a separate stadium project would be too complex and cost hundreds of millions of pounds. Old Trafford holds huge sentimental value for United fans around the world, with its Munich clock and tunnel commemorating the 1958 air disaster, as well as the statues of Sir Matt Busby, Sir Alex Ferguson, Jimmy Murphy, and the United Trinity of Sir Bobby Charlton, George Best and Dennis Law.